Give me 7 minutes and I'll force you to commit. You've been lied to. Not maliciously, but consistently. They told you to wait for motivation, to find balance, to trust the process, even when the process never came. But let me be blunt, if you're still waiting for life to calm down so you can finally change, you're already falling behind. Because the hard truth is, the future doesn't belong to the most talented, or the most motivated. It belongs to the ones who decide. And right now, yes, right now, you're either about to scroll away again, or you're finally about to lock in. So I'll make a promise, give me 7 minutes of your undivided focus, and I'll give you something most people will spend years trying to find: clarity. Not fluff. Not motivational sugar highs. Just the kind of clarity that punches through the fog, slaps you out of autopilot, and forces you to move. You've seen the same recycled advice over and over. Believe in yourself. You've got this. Not here. What you'll hear now might sting, but it'll also wake you up. Because this isn't about feeling good for a moment. It's about changing the next decade of your life. You ready? No? Good. That means you're exactly where you need to be. The world changed, and so did you. There was a time, not long ago, when the world buzzed with color, clarity, and direction. But then came a storm, silent and invisible, that knocked the wind out of humanity's sails. Since COVID, everything feels muted. The streets are louder, but the people? Quieter. We didn't just lose certainty, we lost ourselves in the process. No one said it out loud, but we became gray. Not just the skies. Us. Our drive, our spark, our sense of urgency. Now here's the kicker, it wasn't just the world that changed. You did too. And maybe you haven't realized it yet, or maybe you've been avoiding that mirror for months. But there's a numbness now. A comfortable kind of apathy. Days blur together, routines feel heavier, and somewhere deep down, you've convinced yourself that surviving is enough. That waiting for normal to come back is a strategy. Let me be blunt, that normal isn't coming back. And maybe, just maybe, that's the best thing that could have happened. Because hidden in the wreckage of what was, lies the perfect moment to rebuild. To stop postponing. To stop distracting yourself with TikTok, rewatching old shows, or pretending that scrolling is rest. The silence the world handed us? That was your invitation. Your opening. The world changed, yes, but so did the rules of engagement. And if the game changed, wouldn't now be the best time to stop making empty promises and finally do something real? Enough with the empty promises. Next year will be my year. Sound familiar? It's the anthem of every December and the first excuse of every January. You've said it. Your friends have said it. Maybe you even wrote it down once with sparkly pens and high hopes. But here's the raw truth, 2023 didn't change you. 2024 didn't rescue you. And unless you change the approach, 2025 won't be any different either. A different date on the calendar doesn't magically rearrange your habits or priorities. That's not how transformation works. People don't fail because they're incapable, they fail because they keep wishing instead of planning. And the worst part? You probably meant those promises. You weren't lying to anyone but yourself. This time, I'm serious. But seriousness without structure is smoke without fire. You said you'd wake up early. You said you'd start the gym. You said you'd launch that business, quit that job, start that book. And here we are, with another year knocked off the clock, and very little to show for it. See, the truth is harsh but freeing, words without systems are just noise. You don't need more quotes or pretty planners. You need a damn blueprint. Something that survives when motivation dies at 6 a.m. on a cold Tuesday. You've done enough talking. The version of you keep promising to become? It's waiting on you to finally stop being part-time with your dreams. The clock is ticking, and the next step isn't more hype, it's a complete shift in strategy. Motivation is weak. You need systems. Motivation is like a shot of espresso, tastes good, gives you a kick, but wears off fast. Everyone's chasing that perfect YouTube video, that inspiring podcast, that quote to hang on the wall. But deep down, we both know it, motivation fades. It's cotton candy for the brain, sweet, fluffy, and gone before you even finish chewing. The reason your life isn't changing isn't because you lack motivation, it's because you're addicted to it, when what you actually need is structure. Systems are what carry you when your willpower taps out. They're the GPS when you're lost in a fog of excuses. Want to read more? Set a time, place, and title. Try Atomic Habits by James Clear or Deep Work by Cal Newport. Want to get fit? Don't just say, "I'll hit the gym," choose the days, the workout app, the protein shake. Whether it's building muscle, launching a business, or improving relationships, a system gives your vague dream a backbone. Without it, you're just journaling empty hopes. Here's what most people get wrong: they wait to feel like it. They think success is built on bursts of energy. But no one feels like crushing it every day. What separates the greats from the crowd is what they do when they don't feel like it. Systems don't care about your mood. And that's why they work. When the excitement dies, and it always does, it's the boring, repeatable, structured action that keeps the machine running. And once you lock in on that, you'll begin to realize just how much time you've been wasting. You have time, you're just using it wrong. Here's a brutal truth no one wants to hear: you're not busy, you're just bad at managing your time. Yeah, it stings, but look closer. You've got 24 hours like everyone else. Sleep for 8, if you're lucky, work or study for another 8, spend 2 hours eating, showering, existing. That still leaves you 6 golden hours. 6. Every single day. What are you doing with them? Be honest. Staring at the ceiling thinking about how overwhelmed you are? Or maybe scrolling TikTok, watching reruns of your comfort show for the 5th time? It's not that you don't have time. It's that you've never truly owned it. The difference between people who evolve and people who repeat is how they treat their unused hours. Want to build a new income stream? One focused hour a day learning copywriting or digital marketing can open doors in 90 days. Want to change your body? Commit just 30 minutes a day to working out. Apps like Fitbod or free YouTube channels like AthleanX can guide you. The truth? You don't need more time. You need intentionality. Time is the currency you trade for results. And if you're constantly broke on time, maybe it's because you're bankrupt on priorities. Until you track where those hours are going, you'll keep wondering why nothing changes. Want to really shift things? Start using a calendar, block time for growth the way you'd block time for a dentist appointment. Because when you start treating your goals like non-negotiables, your reality will shift. And speaking of shifts, let's talk about the very tool you keep in your pocket, tapping your attention away from everything that actually matters. Technology is your greatest ally, or your biggest enemy. Your phone isn't the enemy, but how you use it might be. It's a tool, like a hammer. You can build a house or break your own hand. The same screen where people waste hours doom scrolling could also teach you a new language, a new skill, or how to build a 6-figure business from your bedroom. The difference? Intentionality. YouTube can make you sharper than a college degree. Google answers almost every question you have. AI can help you write, plan, edit, learn, so why are you still using all this power to consume instead of create? Look, the algorithm isn't evil, it's just smart. It gives you what you keep asking for with your time. Keep watching distractions, and it'll bury you in them. But start following creators who teach, who inspire, who challenge you, and your feed becomes a university instead of a wasteland. Want to learn to code? Try Free Code Camp. Want to design, edit, or animate? Skillshare, Coursera, and even TikTok, yes, TikTok, are overflowing with tutorials. If your screen time is hurting you more than it's helping you, it's time to admit, the problem isn't the phone, it's the pattern. The trick isn't quitting technology. It's mastering it. You wouldn't throw away a car just because you don't know how to drive. So stop treating your devices like toys. Start treating them like the life-changing tools they are. Because once you combine the right habits with the right tools, you start building something that doesn't rely on motivation, it runs on systems. And that brings us to the next truth most people avoid. The secret is in systems, not wishes. Saying I want to save money is cute, until the month ends and your bank account looks like a bad joke. A wish without a system is just noise in your head. Systems are what turn desires into results. You want to save? Start tracking every expense with apps like Notion or an app. Automate your savings to separate accounts. Give every dollar a job. Want to get in shape? Don't just wish to get fit, build a weekly plan, meal prep on Sundays, set gym appointments like meetings with your future self. Dreams without structure are just daytime fantasies. That's why so many people try and still fail. They're trying to feel motivated instead of building systems that work when they're tired, uninspired, or overwhelmed. Systems don't ask you how you feel. They don't care if it's raining. They just run. You don't brush your teeth only when you're in the mood, right? Same logic. You want to write that book? Start with 300 words a day. Want to build a business? One client call a day. Keep it simple, but automatic. You don't rise to the level of your dreams, you fall to the level of your systems. That's why successful people seem lucky, because their daily routines predict their outcomes. The gym is part of their schedule. Reading is blocked into their day. Execution becomes reflex. They stopped relying on motivation years ago. Because they realized success isn't exciting, it's predictable. And it's built through repetition. Which leads us to something nobody wants to hear, that repetition. It's boring. But it works. Embrace the boredom of evolution. Success isn't sexy, it's repetitive. It's not fireworks or applause. It's waking up early when no one's watching. It's doing the workout when you'd rather scroll. It's saying no to Friday night plans because Saturday morning has a purpose. The truth? The path to your next level will feel like watching paint dry, and that's exactly why most people quit. They think progress has to be exciting. They confuse dopamine with direction. But what if the boredom is the sign you're finally doing it right? Think about it, anything you've ever mastered started off as a routine. Learning to walk. Driving. Brushing your teeth. At first it's clunky and annoying. Then it becomes second nature. Same goes for growth. Building habits isn't supposed to feel thrilling, it's supposed to be effective. If your days feel a little monotonous but your life is moving forward, that's a win. That's the system working. You don't need every day to be different. You need every day to be intentional. The people who win in the long run are the ones who learn to fall in love with the process. They turn repetition into rhythm. They show up when no one claps. They grind in silence and let the results make the noise. And once you accept that boredom is a gateway, not a punishment, something inside shifts. Because if you want to rise, you'll need to sacrifice more than just comfort, you'll need to sacrifice this illusion of balance. Balance is a myth, sometimes. You've been sold a lie, maybe a well-intentioned one, but a lie nonetheless. Balance is the key to everything. Really? Show me one person who built something extraordinary by staying perfectly balanced. When you're climbing, you're off balance by definition. Balance is what you aim for after the foundation is built, not during the construction phase. If you want to change your life, some areas will have to suffer temporarily. That's not failure, it's focus. You want to get serious about your goals? Something's gotta give. Maybe it's video games. Maybe it's going out every weekend. Maybe it's saying yes to things you don't even enjoy anymore. Growth requires priority, not harmony. Want a powerful example? Someone studying for a medical degree isn't spending weekends balancing their social life, they're locked in, because the vision demands it. Your dream should demand the same. And that doesn't mean burnout, it means alignment. Think of life like seasons. There's a season for sacrifice. A season to build. To shut off the noise and double down. Because trying to fit massive goals into leftover time won't cut it. Your dream isn't a side quest, it's the main storyline. So treat it like one. Make it central, non-negotiable. And in doing that, you'll start seeing results that silence the doubt. But before that can happen, there's one last mirror you need to face. Are you really trying, or just pretending? Be honest, are you really trying? Let's cut the fluff. Are you really trying? Or are you just dabbling, doing just enough to feel productive, but not enough to actually change anything? There's a difference, and deep down, you know it. Real effort doesn't feel good all the time. It's uncomfortable. It's inconvenient. It costs you time, energy, sleep, comfort, ego. Most people say they're in the game, but they're still sitting in the bleachers, shouting advice to players they refuse to become. You say you're tired, overwhelmed, doing your best. But are you? Or are you just doing what's easy to do, and even easier to quit? Effort isn't scrolling through inspirational content for 3 hours and calling it research. It's not buying a planner and never using it. It's not signing up for a course and ghosting it by week 2. Real effort is measured in consistency, not intention. Want to change your life? Prove it. Every single day. No parade. No perfect plan. Just action. The world is full of free tools, resources, and opportunities, more than ever before. But they mean nothing if you don't grab them with both hands and refuse to let go. Your current results aren't because the world is against you. They're because, in one way or another, you're still holding back. Not because you're lazy, but because your standard hasn't risen yet. And when that finally shifts, well, that's when things start to change in a way that paints color back into this gray world you're trying to escape. The world won't fix itself, but you can. Here's the hard truth most avoid: the world isn't going to fix itself for you. No cosmic force is coming to rearrange your schedule, hand you clarity, or drag you to the life you want. It's on you. But here's the beauty: you can. You are adaptable, you are capable, and more importantly, you are in control. And once you stop outsourcing your future to luck, vibes, or timing, you'll realize something powerful: you've always had what it takes. This gray, muted world, it starts to light up the moment you take yourself seriously. Not in the dramatic sense, but in the deliberate one. You commit. You build. You execute. One step at a time. And suddenly, the year that was supposed to be next year becomes this year. Because 2025 doesn't hold any magic. The magic was always in your execution. In your systems. In your ability to act when nobody's watching and nothing feels perfect. So maybe it's not about hoping things get better. Maybe it's about deciding, once and for all, that you've had enough of almosts and not yets. That you're done trying to squeeze your dreams into your leftovers. Because you can't build a masterpiece in the margins. Not anymore. Your goals deserve the spotlight. Your growth needs the stage. And if you're still with me now, something tells me you're ready to make that shift. So, after everything you just heard, here's the real question. What are you actually going to do about it? Will you close this video and slip right back into that same loop? The same habits, same distractions, same excuses dressed up as reasons? Or will this finally be the moment where something clicks, and you decide to stop watching people change and start becoming one of them? You've got the knowledge. You've got the time. You've got the tools. The only missing piece is action. So, what are you waiting for? Permission? You don't need it. You just need to start. Because nothing changes unless you do. And this year? It doesn't have to be another almost. It can be the one, but only if you stop treating your goals like a hobby and start treating them like your only option. Now I want to hear from you. What's the one thing you're committing to change starting today? Drop it in the comments. Declare it. And if this hit you in the chest, don't just keep it to yourself, subscribe, turn on those notifications, and let's keep building the version of you that the future can't ignore.